I don't know how well this is gonna go. This is my first time doing a live stream, and I just realized now it has to be done in the vertical for some reason. I guess there's some settings I can change for next time. So it's gonna look a bit weird, but I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, I thought I haven't posted for a while, and I thought maybe doing a live would actually just be easier because I wouldn't have to worry about posting it. And it's just because even with I have Fiverr now, even with that it kind of takes a while to upload. So maybe hopefully this will be a bit quicker, so less to worry about. I don't have to worry too much about things. Sorry, just making sure that everything's there for the chat, if anyone's here. Yeah, I don't have to worry too much about uploading, so we'll go and see how this goes. Yeah, let's see what it looks like on my phone here. There for the chat, if anyone's here. Oh, turn that off. Yeah, looks pretty good. So, I might as well just get to it. Might be a bit of a short one. I'm going to do the mid-year Freakout book tag. I don't read a lot, so I think I've read 10 books so far this year, so it's actually, for me, a very good way of showing you all of the books that I've read, pretty much, and I have the stack right here. So that's all the books that I've read. So yeah, I guess I may as well get on with it. Feel free to join along if you're here. If not, watching this back live. Watching this back as a recording of a live. Then stick everything down in the comments if you want. So this tag was created a long time ago, and I think the person isn't on Booktube, and it possibly was even on a blog post originally. So I see most people don't credit the original, and so I didn't do any digging to see who it was. So I'm not going to credit them. I think they're long gone. Don't think it's a big deal. If you feel differently, then feel free to credit in the comments. Oh, hey, it's good to see you, Mr. Rim. Yeah, just sit quietly. That's perfectly fine. This is mainly just a shortcut for me, so I'm quite content with no live chat. Hi, Bob. Okay, I'll get on with it. This is just a test, so we'll see how it goes. Let me know how successful it was after, maybe. Number 1, best book you've read this year. Okay, so best books. I'm probably gonna go with The Girls Are Missing, by Caroline Crane. Didn't know this author. Very much enjoyed it. Very well read. Was very entertaining. Was very well done, and I think I will definitely read more from them. Close second was probably John MacDonald's Dead Low Tide. That was also very well done. I'm not a huge John D. MacDonald fan either, so I thought it was very well done too. I did make a video on The Girls Are Missing if you want to know more about the book, but essentially it's essentially a domestic thriller slash serial killer book, I guess you would call it. I read that as part of Horror Mayhem, which I think was the only horror book I read this year. But getting into reading the horror was just quite fun. Number 2, best sequel you've read so far. I've read a bunch of sequels, actually. The only ones that is actually a sequel that I know of, the one before it, is The Panic in Philly by Don Pendleton. This is part of the Executioner series. This was good fun. Yeah, actually, this is one of the better. I actually really enjoyed this. This is one of the better ones. They are of different quality. So I think this is the one where he like pretends to be in the mafia, and he creates um his own persona called Johnny Faces Cavaretta. And yeah, he takes on the Philadelphia Mafia, obviously, Panic in Philly. Yeah, and that was good fun. They're all pretty forgettable, but you know, I remember enjoying it. Yes, Bob. I like to read. This is a booktube channel, so I basically just talk about books and varying aspects of my life when I want to. But essentially, I'm going to be talking about books for the next 20 minutes. So, stick around, or if that's not your thing, see you later. But nice for stopping by. Number 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I can't think of any new releases that have come out yet that I want to read. I'm not big on the new release. I'm not big on the new releases. So maybe I don't think I have any new releases that I bought. Oh wait, no, I do. I completely forgot about this one. I still need to read Notice by Heather Lewis, even though this is an old book. Was recently republished, pretty much solely down to the endeavors of Criminale over Ollie Clarker over at Criminale, who basically had got a secondhand copy of this in the last couple of years and read it and just contacted the publisher, but been Serpent's Tail, I think, in the UK, and told them that he thinks it would be a really good idea if they would republish it, and they did. And because I'm in Canada, this one is published by Semiotext, which is distributed by the MIT Press. So it's actually really widely available. Like I just went into my local, bookstore and gave them the title and the ISBN number, and they were able to order it in really easily. So yeah, I need really to read this. Heard it's very provocative, very disturbing. It's basically read it as part of his disturbing books. So it was yeah. I need to be in a slightly different frame of mind for that one. Yeah, Bob, if you like books, do subscribe. My channel is pretty much this. This is a live version, but I don't do a lot of effort with, I don't write scripts, I don't put a lot of research or thought into my channel. I just kind of talk to my phone and upload it. I don't really even review it too much. So if you like this, is pretty much what you're gonna get. So always happy to have new people. Hi Leanne, how's it going? So Notice by Heather Lewis, triumph of peer pressure, I guess, or the art of suggestion from Criminale, and we're all very happy that he made that happen. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I do have an answer for this. It's Attica Locke, and it is the next in the, is it Highway 59 series? I think it's the last one too. I think she's making it a trilogy. Attica Locke is basically my favorite living crime writer, I would say. Has read a bunch of great books. And I can never remember the names of them for some reason, but I discovered her years ago. It was when when debut novel was coming out, and I used to I listened to like the Radio 4 in the UK. I was still living in the UK at the time, so Radio 4 in the UK had a great book show with Marielle Foster, and they were describing the plot for her first book, and it was absolutely amazing. And it was essentially kind of based on a story her dad told her. So essentially what happens is this lawyer is on a boat, I believe, or by the river, and hears something go into the river. Not really sure what's going on. Decides to investigate. Turns out it was a murder victim, and then kind of goes from there. The bit about the something going into the river is the kind of the true part. It just kind of expands on it more. But essentially, it's set in somewhere in the deep south. I know these books, the Highway 59 ones, are set in Texas. I can't remember if this one was set in Texas. I think it might have been set in something like Louisiana or something. I need to read I need to read all of her books again, actually, because she's so fantastic. But basically, they center a lot around racial politics. They delve back to the civil rights era, and expand to the modern day, kind of deals with a lot of the modern day legacy of the civil rights era, the positives, the misgivings, the definitely deals with not just racial tensions though, but just racial, almost kind of harmony in some regards. Like, definitely she is from the South. She still loves the South. So she shows the good and the bad sides of living in the South. And I think it was her that said, the South, like, plenty of black people stayed in the South. There's still community. There's still a great sense of community. Even everything that happened, even all the atrocities and everything that happened, people still stayed. Lots of people left, but a lot of people stayed, and that really tells you something about the people that stayed, I think. Anyway, she's fantastic. I would highly recommend reading her if you can. Next question. 5, biggest disappointment. Biggest disappointment would be The Executioner, Sicilian Slaughter. So basically the history of this book is Don Pendleton had written 15 executioner books, and then there was some sort of contractual clause, and so he refused to write another one. And so, who is it? Pinnacle? Pinnacle, instead of trying to sort it out and doing right by Don Pendleton, they just were like, well, we don't need you. We think we own the intellectual property, so we are going to commission Jim Peterson, who that's a pseudonym for William somebody, but I can never remember his real name. We're going to get Jim Peterson to write this book. And it's terrible. Not only is it terrible, it kind of goes against some of the Executioner's principles, which, they're not necessarily principles I can get behind in the first place, but definitely goes the wrong way. It's not like they make this into a super cuddly character. It's like more the opposite. Starts killing civilians left, right, and center, and doesn't have any remorse. And the whole thing with the Executioner is he has his beef with the mafia, and cops are off bounds, civilians are off bounds. If anytime he ever did kill or hurt someone that was a civilian, he felt very remorseful about it and strives to do better in the future. And it's up to the point where he would sacrifice his own life to make sure that a civilian wasn't killed. And he was also a lot of times the mafia is involved in sex trafficking. So anytime he came across the victims of sex trafficking, he kind of went out of his way to get them released and freed and sent back to their people. So yeah, this kind of flies right in the face of that. It's much more violent, it's much more explicitly violent, explicitly gruesome. and there's some racial epithets in it that are unnecessary. Like, it's not like Don Pendleton didn't use racial epithets, but he generally only used them for characters to show um, how disgusting those characters were. They were used as in speech as a example of this is the type of person this is. Like, I have a lot of issues with Don Pendleton's Executioner, but this made me realize how good he is at writing the Executioner books, and how much worse they could be in somebody else's hands. So I think Pinnacle realized that, because they got it all sorted, and number 17 in the book is a straight sequel to number 15. Like, Don Pendleton just acted like number 16 never existed. I think it was also a bit of a bad move to go to Sicily so early on in the series too, and even the Don Pendleton ones that went to Europe are not the best ones. I think there's definitely something lacking in the. Although the London one was pretty good, I quite like the London one, but the one set in France was pretty terrible. Number 6, biggest surprise. Dead Low Tide was a surprise, but I'm not a big fan of John D. MacDonald. I think I like him when he doesn't write Travis McGee novels. I think it's the Travis McGee novels I don't really like, but I remember now I read another one that was John D. MacDonald, but not Travis McGee, and quite like that one too. So I think I'm okay with John D. MacDonald as long as it's not a Travis McGee series entry. I'll still read those though. Like, they're not terrible. They're readable. They're just not as fun or as good as I think they should be. Especially for how good how well renowned he is, essentially. So that's pretty my yeah, no, and actually I have to say, The Penetrator. The Penetrator was a big surprise too. I thought this was gonna be so bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's fun. It's so fun. It almost feels like it feels like parody of The Executioner. It's like, so everything about it is feels like a parody. It just feels like a direct response. I think it's more of a copycat of The Executioner, not intended as a parody, but it's so on the nose that it really feels like a parody. Even the name, The Penetrator, feels like what's the most silly name we could think of. It's definitely, I mean, even the graphic design, I noticed that with the arrow, even that, oh my god, it's amazing. So yeah, I think that was a surprise and how enjoyable that was. Number 7, favorite new author, debut or new to you. So I'm gonna go back to where is it? Carolyn Crane, because I think everything else I know. Carolyn Crane. So I think I'm definitely gonna read more from her. Never read it before. It was really good. I guess the other one maybe is Kimberly Ray. I read Shameless. It's what is it? Harlequin Temptation Blaze. So it's like extra spicy. So that one was really enjoyable too. So I think I would read, if I saw Kimberly Ray in secondhand bookstore, I would probably grab it and read it. What's the next one? Newest fictional crush. Well, it's got to be The Penetrator, surely. Look at those biceps. Crisp, clean shirt, mustache. I only read the first one, Man Kill Sport. He gets butt naked too. Sounds very attractive. So it's got to be The Penetrator. And if it's not The Penetrator, then it is Mrs. North from Killing the Goose. And this is the Mr. and Mrs. North mysteries from Francis and Richard Lockridge. They're the Mr. and Mrs. North mysteries, but Mrs. North is definitely much more excited and involved in the mystery than Mr. North is. She's basically very stubborn, doesn't let things go. Even when her life is in danger and her husband is telling her, please don't go out and solve this mystery, she's still at it. So I can definitely find that very attractive in a person. Book that made you cry. I have not read any books that would remotely make anyone cry this year. I don't tend to, I say that, but I do usually like to read at least one Holocaust memoir, like Holocaust survivor memoir. I think they're very important to read. And obviously, I defy anyone to read any of these without having some sort of emotional reaction that's, if not crying, at least like as close to crying as you can. It's obviously one of the greatest atrocities ever perpetrated by man, and not only that, it's very well documented too. So yeah, there's lots of reading out there that you can do to really discover the true horrors. And it's becoming, I think, even more important now. I'm glad there's so much written and documented about it, because we're coming to the stage where most of the survivors of it are dead, and the only people generally really around anymore are the children. And a lot of them, their recounting of it isn't, it's a bit more blocked down. Their recounting of it isn't, a little bit more hazy, and didn't really understand the full ramifications. So yeah, I think it's very important that we make sure it never happens again, even though it has, and it probably will, sadly. Newest. Oh shit! I forgot the newest favorite character one. Number 9, newest favorite character. That was in between The Crush and the book that made you cry. Favorite new character. It's probably gonna be the Penetrator again, I guess. What other character? Yep, it's gonna be the Penetrator again. He's so funny. It's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous, but it's fun. Book that made you happy. Not a lot made me that happy. Like, not ecstatically happy. This was cute. It was kind of sexy. The sex scenes were done well. Kind of did make me happy. Not that happy though, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we'll go with that. That'll do. I'm not I don't read books that make me cry very often. I don't make books that make me that happy very often. Just mildly content, I guess. Favorite book to movie adaptation so far this year. Very easy for this one. Haven't read a lot that have been adapted, but very easy. The 39 Steps. Incredibly problematic novel. I don't remember it being so problematic when I read it as a teenager, I guess. But it's like pretty much takes a swat at everybody that's not a Protestant white male. But it's a really thrilling novel. It's one of the first thrillers, really. And it was written originally for the newspaper, so basically it's very episodic. Each little set piece is its own thrilling little kind of story, and they're mashed in. And obviously this has been filmed quite a few times. The best one is still the Alfred Hitchcock's 1935 with Robert De Niro. I do quite like the 1950s version with Kenneth More, which is basically a direct it's a direct adaptation of the Hitchcock movie. Both take massive liberties and change the story quite a lot. It's a story though that you can change. It's not really that, doesn't really matter. The 1971 with I think it's like 78 with Robert Powell was very good too. It has the classic scene of him dangling off Big Ben in London. That one I believe is set at the same time as the book, but is not faithful to the book at all. Changes a lot. And then there was the 2008 one, I believe, most recent, which is now quite old. It's like 16 years old now. I don't think I've seen this one. I got bad reviews when it first came out. I think I should watch it though. I've watched all the others, so I think I should watch this one. I might want to revisit the 70s one because I don't remember that well. Actually, I might just really watch them all. They're all. It's a fun thriller. It's kind of someone being chased, but they don't really know why. Which is always a very good premise. I kind of like those thrillers where the person is kind of actually like figuring out why they're entangled in this as they're running for their lives. It's quite a good trope. Favorite review you've written this year? I don't really do reviews. I kind of just talk about my thoughts. I cannot think of a favorite one. Maybe if I recommend one, go back to The Girls Are Missing. I don't know how well I did in it, but I definitely think it's the most interesting book I've read this year. 14, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I have not bought a lot of books this year. So, I have one maybe that's, I would say, beautiful. It's a very acquired taste though, maybe. It's this. It's Ms. Maze by Mary Fitt. I just love these green penguins. They came out, I think green stands for crime, but basically penguins. I mean, this was probably, 1961 is when this version was published, but basically the start of penguins was, they were basically started as a way to republish affordable versions of books for people, especially to sell at train stations. Penguin books really took off when they were able to publish a successful, I think it was the Odyssey. Yeah, I think it was the Odyssey they did first. That was like highly successful, and they would sell just basically like a mass market paperback version at mainly at train stations. There was a big boon for them, and that was how they took off. And so, a lot of their first incarnation was just to republish famous, popular, not so much like just popular fiction, and so they had it all color coordinated. Green was for crime. I can't remember what it was. An orange. Was it red? One of them was for translated fiction. One of it was for classics, and I think one was possibly for just like modern literature, I guess. Can't super remember. I definitely have an orange one somewhere. So yeah, I have orange ones. So I'm guessing that's probably more contemporary fiction. And green was for crime. Definitely remember the green ones. And I think I'm now at the last prompt. So if you have any questions for me, get them in now. Otherwise, I will be wrapping this up very shortly. Thank you all for joining. Those that are staying. Anyone that's watching this afterwards, let me know what you think in the comments below. And let me know if you would like this weird live more often. And I'll give you more of a head start as well, if you would like so. And I'll see how it goes from my end too. So, number 15, last one. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I mean, need is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. I certainly don't need to read anything. I would like to read a lot of books. But if I don't read another book, I'm sure everything will be okay in the world. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm partway through. So I have A Banner of Life and Death by Ellie Alexander. This is the second in the Bake Shop Mystery series. Found out about her through live chat a few years ago. Very nice person. This isn't really the kind of stuff that I like to read. But it's enjoyable enough. It's just a little bit, like the cozy thing's a little bit weird for me. This one's actually an amazing cover. The Illustrious Corpse by Tiffany Thayer. I actually might do a video on Tiffany Thayer because they're a very interesting character. This book is pretty terrible though. I'm still halfway through. I'm still gonna finish it. I just found it a little free library. Got this new bookmark, which is kind of cool, butterfly bookmark. So yeah, The Illustrious Corpse. Terrible, but the author is actually very interesting. Diamond in the Buff. Oh, this is a great cover, actually. I like this. Susan Dunlap. This is a Jill Smith mystery set in Berkeley, California, which is mainly renowned for university and kind of new agey, so yeah, kind of like a new agey town. It's very good. It's very fun, very funny actually. Oh, this is also my great try another trap. One more chapter bookmark. So it's written in 1990. Try to read more female crime writers, mainly because most of the ones I read are very good. I just tend to get stuck in reading my crappy males all the time. And the last thing, I started this last weekend and forgot to go back to it, but it's really good so far. Behind the Mirror by Robin Morm, who is the nephew of the Somerset Maugham. And this one so far is really good. Robert Maugham also a very interesting character. So I will probably talk about this book more in length in a different video, and definitely about him too. And I think that's it. Just a little comments here. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Hope all is well in life from Booktube. I always enjoy your content. It makes me smile to think of you reading a cheesy romance book, especially a spicy one. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad that you. Thanks, Music Room. I'm glad you get the enjoyment from that. It was actually pretty good. I think I need to read more romance novels. I'm quite a romantic person. I definitely like all of the old-timey romance movies that are sometimes more problematic and sometimes surprisingly less problematic than modern romance movies, but I do like them. And then Music Room again says, with regard to the live versus pre-recorded, I have no thoughts except I would feel bad walking away when you're alive, whereas it is nice to be able to pause you if I am doing other things as they listen. I don't feel bad about walking away. This is definitely more to make my life easier. But I'll see how it goes. And I'm trying to make more videos. I think I just needed the time crunch. I think I needed to just set a time and just do it. So I thought I'd go live. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Everyone have a great time. Enjoy your Sunday. If you're watching the football, enjoy. I'm Scottish, so obviously I'm supporting Slovakia in a couple of hours' time. So sorry, England fans. But yes, football's a bit of a sore thing for me right now. But at least Canada qualified for the Copa America next round, so very happy with that. But anyway, have a good one. Enjoy, stay safe, drink lots of water, and have a great time until next time. See you, bye.